today's video, let's talk about how you can keep getting bigger and build more muscle as you age. This is in response to Alpha Destiny's recent video where he's talking about how he keeps getting bigger, which was suggested to me by John in the comment section of a recent video where I mentioned I was talking to Layne Norton at the Arnold Classic. And I asked Layne how much muscle he's been able to build in recent years, and he said none. In his early 40s, after over 20 years of lifting experience, it's not even a game of ounces for him anymore. He's just happy to maintain his muscle. He's still kicking butt in the gym, looking fantastic. Now, for myself personally, I'm 47 years young, over 30 years of lifting experience under my belt. I still feel like I'm making slow and steady progress. I still feel like I'm building some muscle and continuing to improve upon my physique. Now, getting back to Alpha Destiny there, the difference here, he's in his mid-20s. I think he's 25 years old or about to turn 25 or about to turn 26. So either way, in his mid-20s, he's got over a decade of lifting experience under his belt, and he's gone through multiple bulking and cutting phases. Bro looks freaking jacked. He looks like a freaking monster, and he's around the same height as me. We're both around 5'7". I'm probably more like 5'6" and a half. I weigh 148 pounds, 149 pounds. He's weighing in at 158 pounds. You see him, I wish I ran into him at the Arnold Classic there. Seeing him next to Mike Israetel and Jared Feather. He is holding his own at 158 pounds, and these guys are over 200 pounds. It just goes to show the illusion you can create with your physique, and especially when you are lean and you are focusing on some of those more aesthetic muscles, the arms. He's very much like me in regards to, I think my arms grow easy, my shoulders seem to grow easy. He did mention that he used to not train legs as much, so maybe his legs are starting to catch up a bit right now. But a lot of his body weight is in his upper body. But looking jacked, looking like a freaking monster, making 158 pounds look massive. So kudos to him, and he's super strong, way stronger than I am right now. He's stronger than I was even at his age. I think my best was doing 3 plates. Mind you, I was 123 pounds at his age there. I was a much smaller guy at his age, even with that much lifting experience on my belt. It's about the same, 10, 13 years of lifting experience on my belt at his age there. So pretty strong, again, for my size. 315 for reps, a few reps, 2 to 3 reps at that time was pretty good to me. But he's over 400 pounds of bench pressing right now. So strong dude, looks great. Gone through multiple bulking and cutting phases. Reminds me a lot of what I used to do. I think his recent bulk, he got up to 204 pounds. So 5-poundish heavier than he is right now. Cut down, had to lose all that weight, and it sounds like he's saying he gained 5 pounds in this past year from this recent bulk and then cutting down there. That is, up to debate. I guess you could say, did he actually gain 5 pounds during this time? Really, really tough to tell. Even if he did body fat scans, DEXA scan, or some in-body tests, those have been shown to be crazy inaccurate there. And even just going by looks, for me, gaining 5 pounds or losing 5 pounds doesn't make all that of a difference in regards to the visual appearance of my physique when I'm flexed. It's when I'm relaxed where you kind of see that the lower abs wash out just a little bit when I gain 5 pounds or lose 5 pounds. So is it actually 5 pounds? Maybe it is. Maybe it's a little bit more. Maybe it's a little bit less. Now, when you're looking at what the evidence shows is what to be expected. You gain most of your muscle in that first year of lifting, and it basically gets cut in half as the years go on. After 4 or 5 years of lifting, you can basically expect to gain maybe 2 to 3 pounds of muscle per year. So if he actually gained 5 pounds of muscle, it's a little bit more than what you would expect at that point. Not a lot more, so nothing crazy significant, not out of the ordinary there, but maybe it is more in line. Maybe he gained 2 to 3 pounds, and he's right in line with what the evidence suggests. And as he mentioned in the video, he says, the more training you're doing, the longer you've been training, the slower your progress is going to be. Now, he did reference Jeff Alberts there, showing Jeff looks much better at his age right now. I think Jeff's approaching 50. He's close to my age right now compared to when he was in his 20s. I totally agree. Jeff looks way better in his 40s than he did when he was in his 20s. But at this stage of the game with just lifting, he's not really gaining any more muscle at this point. I think some of his recent competitions, he's coming in lighter than he did in the previous years. Mind you, maybe he's coming in just a tiny bit leaner, but it's not like Jeff is packing on muscle at this point. And again, Alberto Nunes, even looking at guys younger in their 30s, Jeff Nippard, I'm not seeing like massive gains, and Jeff's got great genetics. I'd say both Jeff Nippard and Albert's have great genetics. Albert Nunes, great genetics. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there with great genetics that as they're aging, they're getting into their 40s and decades of lifting experience, you're not seeing drastic muscle gains. They could still be gaining some muscle. Like I said, I think I'm still gaining some muscle after all these years of lifting, but it's a slower, steady process. You got to be a lot smarter with your lifting, with your nutrition, with your recovery. I think you got to have an open mind and a willingness to experiment with different approaches. I find like for some guys, it may be reducing your training volume. You may find that if you are kind of a high volume junkie, you've always loved high volume, you're in the gym like 6 days per week for like 90 minutes every training session, you may find that cutting down to 4 days per week, 45 to 60 minute sessions may be what your body needs. Or maybe you keep the volume somewhat the same, change your training frequency, how often you train each muscle group per week. And again, it doesn't have to be per week, like just frequency. I hate following a calendar week. Like I may follow a 6 workout training plan, but train 4 or 5 days per week. I just keep following those workouts in order. Maybe I follow 4 workout training plan, but I'm in the gym 5 to 6 days per week. Like it just don't feel stuck to the calendar week there. But the main thing is like trying different things, like stepping outside of your comfort zone. Because for a lot of us bros, doing less is mentally challenging to us. We're so used to thinking like more is better. So you may have to get out of your comfort zone and try doing less for a little bit more. And you may find that doing less volume, like less total sets per workout or per week, you may be able to give even more effort. That was something that Alpha Destiny Alex mentioned in his video, like the amount of effort that he puts towards his training. It sounds like he does a lot of high volume. Kind of chuckled a little bit, which I do way more volume than what anyone else can recover from, which is interesting. But yeah, like he trains hard, and we see him in his videos. I don't watch a ton of his videos or anything, but you see the effort that he puts into it. And I agree, like that's the beauty of documenting our progress on YouTube, whether you have a YouTube channel yourself. It's like it's so much fun for me to reflect back on my previous videos, see what I was lifting. Now, I was a lot stronger back then. I was deadlifting 6-7 years ago, like heavyweight, getting over 400 pounds on the deadlift there for 3 repetitions. For a guy my size, 149 pounds, that's pretty damn good, but I don't do that anymore. Just kind of listening to my body, the high risk, low reward with that movement. But you learn with your training, you learn what your body responds best to. And again, going through phases, having conversations with clients who prefer to do higher repetitions, lighter weight, just making sure that you're getting to that point of true momentary muscular failure. But I find for myself personally, it all comes down to effort. When I know I'm only going to be in the gym like 45 to 60 minutes at the most, I see fewer sets in there, I'm like mentally, boom, like I'm giving everything I got to every single set that I perform. As I've been mentioning in recent months, I've changed my approach from I used to do first set, leave 3 to 4 reps in the tank. Second set, leave 2 to 3 reps in the tank. Last set, best set for that third set. And I may even finish that third set with partial reps or loaded stretch or a slow negative or like drop sets, extended rest pause sets. I may do anything to take that beyond the point of momentary muscular failure in a safe manner. So that's what I used to do. And now I'm like, first set number 1, after doing some warm-up workup sets on the bigger compound movements, I like only leave 1 rep in the tank. Second set, all freaking out effort. Third set, again, all freaking out effort. I may not be able to hit the same number of reps that I did on that second set. Oftentimes I'm finding it's my second set that is, I guess, best in regards to the strength that I have to push that weight for the amount of reps I do. But then I'm going to take that third set beyond that point, momentary muscular failure, maybe with a slow negative or a partial rep, depending on the movement, sometimes even a drop set there. So it's smart training, like challenging your body. I think it's always about effort, giving your best focused effort. I find that's part of the beauty of that comes from experience. Experienced lifters tend to know their bodies better. They have a better heightened sense of awareness, a better sense of focus, maybe even groundedness during your training. When you have all these years of training experience under your belt, great mind-muscle connection. So you kind of know, you learn your body, you learn when you can push it, when to pull back. You're just smarter in regards to if you didn't get a great sleep last night, walking to the gym, not feeling like you have to ego lift or hit a PR or anything like we did in our 20s. We listen to our body. Maybe it's time to go lighter and do high repetitions, or maybe you walk into the gym, you're like, I know this exercise programmed like 12 to 15 reps, but I want to go over like 6 to 10 reps for this move. I'm just feeling strong today. Had a great sleep, great fuel in me right now. My mindset's in the great place. I want to test my limits here, and you test them in there. So again, as we age, it's listening to our body. It's challenging ourselves in different ways, stepping outside of our comfort zone, trying different splits, trying different training frequencies. If you are used to lower volume, trying high volume. Used to high volume, try low volume. It's just being smart with your programming, with your body, really paying attention to how it's recovering, because recovery is even more important as we age and all these years of lifting experience under our belt. So do I think we can build more muscle, get bigger as we age? Because it's a big difference. Getting bigger, I mean, I can gain 20 pounds. I look bigger, shirt on. I even still got some ab definition there, not great, but I can look bigger, but it doesn't mean I've gained muscle. You cut down, that 20 pounds I gained still turns out to be 1 pound of muscle. So was it worth it? Even with Alex, Alpha Destiny there, got up to 204 pounds, so gained 45 pounds, cuts down. If he gained 5 pounds, is it worth it? Like, that's a pretty crappy ratio of muscle to body fat. Was it necessary? Could it have done better if he had gained less fat throughout the process, was able to stay in a muscle building phase even longer, and have that cutting phase last even shorter, in order to cut down and get to the level of leanness he is right now? I mean, that's been my experience. Again, like I said, I went through the bulking and cutting when I was in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 40s, just realizing that it's not a fair trade-off. Like, it's just so out of whack when you're trying to gain all that much weight. You cut down and you realize, man, I just spent a good chunk of my year dieting for just a little bit of muscle there. So like this year, I've been in 13 months in a gentle calorie surplus, focused on gaining weight slow and steady, building muscle slow and steady. It's a time where, I mean, I've been fueling my body, providing my body with an adequate amount of fuel to perform my best, feel my best. I haven't had to do any kind of cutting at this point. If I do any kind of cutting in the near future at all, it's probably going to be like a week or two where I drop a pound or two at this point. So it's not going to take very long, and I get right back to building muscle. So spending more time keeping my body in an anabolic state and less time cutting down and depriving myself, not necessarily depriving myself, but it's a challenge. Like even Alex Leonidis probably lost some muscle throughout this cutting phase here too. So you don't want that to be happening when you're losing fat and trying to reveal the definition. Again, so many great points throughout his videos. The details, again, as I mentioned, like when you are leaner, you look bigger. You see all the details, you see all the striations. So again, it was I have nothing against the video. Said it was great content, and it just, for me, if anything, it puts things into perspective. If a guy in his 20s who's pushing, like giving all out freaking effort, is able to only gain 5 pounds, if that is what he gained, maybe it was a little bit less, like when we're in our 40s, after even more, like 2 more decades of lifting experience under a belt, and you're expecting to gain 5 pounds as well, I think you really need to put things into perspective here. Again, for myself, I don't want to set myself up for failure and disappointment. I know I'm not even thinking about what does the evidence say, what's happening with anyone else. I'm just focused on myself, giving my best effort. If I give my best effort to my diet, to my training, to my lifestyle, focusing on getting an adequate amount of sleep each and every night, consuming mostly whole, natural, nutrient-rich foods, and training in a smart, intelligent way, allowing myself the opportunity to recover, rebuild, repair, and grow my muscles, doing all the right things, that's all I can ask for. Let the cards fall where they may. Wherever the wherever my potential genetic limit is, that's where it's going to fall. I can't do anything more as a natural lifter here to push it beyond that point. I can't ask anything more of myself. So wherever it falls, it falls. So that's why I think this whole thing, like how much muscle you can build, I mean, we're all different. We're all genetically different. Yes, there's some averages that we can look at there, but again, I don't think you want to compare yourself to the average. We're fighting our own battle here, man. We're in our, this is our journey, your process. Just give the best of yourself to what you're doing. Let it fall where it may. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. More than anything, I would love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback, your own personal experiences with how much muscle you've been able to gain over the years, what you think of the evidence that's out there. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.